full details. If you don't have the audios, get the audios. If you don't have the book, get the book. In fact, you don't need one book. Hello? You need at least 6, really. So that you can borrow somebody one, borrow another one, and say, reach chapter 4, come back, let's see 2 days time. So that when you finish with that 5, you build. When they are ready to say, okay, I'm coming on board, you can give them one as well to use to teach their people until they're ready to get their own. Okay, after we talked about season selling the stay, I came and I talked about motivation and attitude. Say with me, motivation and attitude. I would say there are 2 kinds of motivation. There is down motivation and there is up motivation. Say with me, down motivation. And say with me, up motivation. And very simply, which one is down motivation? Down motivation is the motivation you get when you enter into a hot bath. What is a hot bath? Hot baths are any event like this that you come for. Hot baths is when you read a book and you are inspired. Hot baths is when you attend a seminar and you are fired up. That's hot bath. How frequently must you take hot baths? Daily. Are we together? But we said as soon as you finish on a hot bath and you step out, it is likely to be what? Cold. That means once this seminar is over, chances are you will go back to your normal temperature. And if you want to create repeaters, then you read daily, read regularly, like some of us do. We have books all over the house. Anywhere we sit down, we can find something to read. Hot bath. But there's a particular kind of motivation that is called up motivation that is constant. Say with me, constant. And that motivation is gotten not by giving you fire from above, but by putting fire under you. Now, how do you put fire under yourself? This business model says the way to put fire under somebody is to ensure that you create excitement from beneath their team. That every downline, every distributor that you sponsor is 5 degrees centigrade. So if you have 5, how many degrees do you have? 25. If your 5 have 5, those 5 will contribute 5 degrees to the person that sponsored them and 10 degrees to their sponsor. So if your 5 have 5 each, you have 25 people your second level with 10 degrees each. How many degrees do you have? 250 degrees plus 25, 275 degrees. Now, it says that your attitude is the temperature, technically, with which that you have before you speak to somebody. It means before I speak to somebody else, I need to ensure that I'm burning myself. So, I shouldn't speak to somebody until I'm like 50 degrees. So my sponsor will help me and support me until I have some level of degrees. It is when I have my own personal correct attitude and motivation that I'm able to speak to somebody and the person is able to convert and listen to me. So how do you motivate? Build under them. Work with the goal in your team. Hit people up from below. Even the hottest desert in the world is not likely to boil water or fry egg. So there's no motivation you can give by talking to, doing seminars that's going to work as much as putting fire under. So how you motivate is help people hit up from under them rather than from above. Help them, support them to build their team. The beauty of binary is that even if I have 10 people in my organization, 5 here, 5 here, by working with 2 people that are serious, I will successfully put fire under the remaining people. So how to motivate is by ensuring that I'm supporting them to go 3 levels deep. Once I do that, the motivation is constant. How many of you have seen how difficult it is to quit when you start experiencing a third generation? One of the things that makes people quit is lack of responsibility. Say with me, responsibility. Responsibility. If nobody is holding you responsible for their failure, nobody's going to hold you responsible for their success. If nobody is blaming you for their failure, then you have nobody who can thank you for their success. One of the things that will keep you motivated in this business is knowing that you have a team of people underneath you, who are under the people under you, who are driving the business. It will keep you constantly motivated. So, by the 3rd generation, it's 15 degrees. By the 4th generation, it's 20 degrees. By the 5th generation, it's 25 degrees. You can get to a point in this business where your temperature is about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get to a place where it's 10,000. Where not only can you boil water, you can vaporize steam. Are we together? When you are red hot. Look at the person beside you. Say, how hot are you?
How hot are you?
Tell me I'm hot. Now, I also spoke to you about the pentagon of growth. To say how to grow in this business is strategic. Anybody who wants to drive this business needs to commit to 2 months of schooling. Ladies and gentlemen, let me not joke with you. I went to school to study electronics and electrical engineering. They told me it was a 5-year course. I finished after 6 years. No extra year, no extra semester, just ASU strike. After I learned hard in one of the most perceived difficult topics to study on campus, I came out in flying colors as one of the best students in my class. And I successfully bagged a job that was classified as one of the best jobs anybody in my class got. And my salary from active income, which was prided as a very good salary 12 years ago or 13 years ago then, was less than $400 per month. Are we together? Yes. I labored hard for 6 years to earn peanuts. This business says if you labor hard and understand this, in 6 months you can be earning times 4 of that, and in 4 years, even when you stop working, you can still be earning. Which school do you prefer to go to? The one I went to or the one I'm going to now? Now, it takes commitment and understanding the pentagon of growth, which basically is to say to yourself, give yourself 2 months to sponsor 5 personally. 2 months, that's a long time. 2 months to sit down with 5 people and sponsor them. 2 months. After I spend those 2 months, I draw a pentagon. And on that pentagon on one side, I write 2 months equals to 5. To demonstrate that in 2 months, I have sponsored 5. In the next 2 months, what will I do? I will help the 5 of them to sponsor 5 each because they have the same goal. So what will it look like? I will now have my 2 people that I'm helping to sponsor 5. Are we together? And while I'm helping them to sponsor their own 5, I can go ahead and get another 5. So I begin to build the second side of my pentagon. After those 4 months, by the 6th month, what do? I help my 5 people support their 5 each to do 5 each. I help my new 5 support their 5 to do, and then I start another 5. By my 6th month, I have filled 3 sides of my hexagon. By my 8th month, I'm helping my first level to get to their 4th level. My second people to get to their 3rd level. My first person, by then, I'm opening the 4th side of my pentagon to take the 1st level. What will happen when I've done this business for 10 months? I have my hexagon all around. On the place where I started, I already have 3,125 people on my level 5. Are we together? What kind of income do you think I'll be earning? I'll be earning, depending on the company I'm working with, depending on the kind of vehicle I'm driving, I'll be doing amazing things. You know, when I was young, there was an argument we used to have in primary school. I don't know if you had it in your school. We'll argue and say Mercedes-Benz is faster than Toyota. Do you have that argument? Yes. Mercedes is faster than, I'm like, is it not speedometer? How can you say one car is faster than the other? You still like it today, have you? Yeah. Now, but reality is this. Reality is, the truth is, one car is faster than the other. Yes. Because they respond to the same pressure differently. Yes. Yes. Now, avenues, there are different kinds of vehicles. There's bus. There's coaster. There's what? There's trailer or truck. And there are cars that are designed for speed. They are called sports cars. Are we together? Avenues to wealth is a sports car. Wow. Speedometer limit, infinity. I'm telling you, there's no limit in geology that you can earn. None. It means when you get into the car, for many vehicles, once you press it to a particular place, the engine will knock. Because there's no capacity to handle that depth. Not avenues to wealth. When you jam the accelerator, you can go to as far as the road can take you. The only limit is the road. Now, once you build like that, you begin to have fantastic residual income. I will talk about that. After that was done, somebody came back on the podium and shared with us the concept of going back to school and the value of the same. I'd like us to put our hands together as I welcome Kusai.